Hello, my name is Paragnome and I hope you enjoy this video as much as I had creating it. In this video, I hope to write an insightful commentary on what I found personally distressful about Counter-Strike Global Offensive, for which I will be referring to it as its de facto name, CSGO, for the rest of the video. After a little over 500 hours in CSGO, I grew bored of it and stopped playing. The manifestation of the breaking point in question was a lack of finding CSGO fun. I shall look back into this at a later point, but for now, I would like to discuss what led up to that point. It is no secret there has been a lack of support for the longevity of CSGO. Of course updates are being pushed out, but for when we revisit these updates, we can observe what can be confused as laziness, but is in fact a lack of funding for critical departments that have a direct effect on gameplay. Aspects I'm talking about, and what many others are already talking about, is server latency, hitbox detection, and frequent amount of hackers constantly pouring into the game. This has happened so much that it affects pro games constantly and terribly.
This is happening to VP as well. All right. What?
Yeah, I think he got CSGO.
Smoke! Smoke! Grenade!
Professional casters called it CSGO in the clip you just saw. A now common term for when something unfavorable happens in CSGO, most commonly being hitboxes. When so much terrible and frustrating things happen in a video game, it becomes slang in the community. It emphasizes normality of said frustration over time. This should be a red flag for game developers like Valve and who is ever in charge of CSGO to patch the frustration out of the game immediately. Server latency is perhaps the least troubling problem for CSGO, ever since Valve added higher tick servers allowing for much more smooth playing, although it is still a piece of the frustration with hitboxes and hit detection. The difference between hit detection latency and hitboxes can be easily explained.
We'll just go with fake lags this one. If you strafe side to side, I'll walk up really close. I just missed then. So there you go, I hit him and he's dead.
Meanwhile, poor hitboxes just make you completely miss.
What? What?
Bullet delay is not the only thing spawned from latency. Rubber banding, no bullet detection, and lack of fluid movement is not only present in CSGO, and unfortunately we're just so familiar with it from other games we think it's normal to have this much. My last personal issue is one that really just makes me so incredibly mad is hackers. I understand you're really bad at the game, see a shortcut to reach a high elo, and you get to tell all your friends about, oh, how good you are at CSGO, and you have the rank to prove it. Hackers who feed off the salt and anger of the opposing team is much more common. Having a lack of friends and people who you are close to other than your mom can create this sort of behavior. In addition to the lack of relevancy in your clique of friends will spawn this type of behavior. I mean, on sale, CSGO is a crisp $7.50, and hacks can be found for free on the internet, so what is the downside? A lack of punishment for hackers is the most consistent thing about CSGO. The amount of money generated from buying new accounts is a solid revenue for the developers of CSGO, so why punish people who are making you money? I'm not saying all hackers do not get banned, a lot do, but when I left CSGO, there were many blatant hackers in CSGO, and a large amount in my Overwatch queue. CSGO is just not fun to me anymore. I wish I could take it seriously and continue to play it competitively. I just cannot find myself to play it at all. Just playing the game to gather the footage for this video was just borderline mind-numbing and just plain boring. All of this is just my personal opinion that I hope you can relate to, at least on some level. I left out some important things like trading bans, item locks that can negatively affect the player base. I'd like to know your thoughts on this matter. If you have a game that you stopped playing but have a lot of hours in, and what do you find frustrating about said game and CSGO. That will have to conclude this video. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, you can. You are perfectly free to refuse to subscribe to my channel. See you all hopefully in the next video.